Something very serious is happening in Benin Republic. Right now, a coup just happened. On the morning of December 7, 2025, the streets of Cotonou were all in tremble. Soldiers appeared on the national television announcing the removal of the president. They call themselves the Military Committee for Reformation. And just in a single broadcast, it happened. It happened. Know that recently this year, many things has happened in Africa in large. There was a recent coup in Guinea-Bissau. Now again, in Benin Republic. Oh my God. Just watch.
Military attacked the house of the president, who is Mr. Patrice Talon, and there were heavy gunfire shot against his house. And we saw also some military who spoke on a television in Benin, Cotonou, the capital, and they said that the president was ousted and replaced by a military with the establishment of a Salvation Organization Committee to take over the reign of the country. The problem is this is not something that surprised anybody because we have been hearing a lot of tension in that country. Some of the opposition members have been arrested for years and maintained in jail by the president in place, Talon. And also, there is a process towards the new election next year or 2027 to replace him in power. He has already designated somebody to take over from him, from his party, his current Minister of Finance, who is Mr. Romuald Wadani, and he had managed to eliminate key people from the leading opposition party of former President Mr. Yayi Boni. So there was really a lot of tension within the country, and even there had been a coup attempt by close friends of the outgoing president. So nobody is surprised that the military came out and tried to do this attempted coup. It is not new in Benin. In the 1970s, Benin was known for a hub of military coup.
Adama, the thing here is also, I mean, as you mentioned, Patrice Talon was due to step down the next presidential election, slated for April, and his replacement, or his nomination for his replacement anyway, was already set. So, I mean, with the idea that he was going to be stepping down in just a few months, it must be a surprise that the military or factions within the military have acted in this way.
Yes, because, of course, everybody had the feeling that it was going to be a smooth transition because really, in economic terms, in terms of infrastructure, Benin Republic was doing marvelous. It was achieving great strides towards its economic development. Myself, I was supposed to go after tomorrow to meet key business people interested in distribution of petroleum products in West Africa coming from Europe. But this is no longer possible. Why this has happened? Maybe the fact that actually this transition from Mr. Talon to a newly elected president next year was not seen as something as genuine. People believe that it's the Medvedev-Putin type of transition where Mr. Talon will put a figurehead in his place and continue running the show from behind the scene. So this is something, this fake type of democracy that may have prompted the military to stage this coup. Whether they will succeed or not is early to say, because only what we know is that they've tried. Will they succeed? It is not new in West Africa, because recently we have heard there is a coup in Guinea-Bissau with the advent of the military taking over from Embalo, Sissoko Embalo, the embattled president of that country, to the point that the ECOWAS, the regional body, economic community of West African states, was due to convening a meeting, a summit of heads of state on 14th of December to discuss the coup in Guinea-Bissau. Most likely they will have to discuss also the problems afflicting the West African region in terms of military intervention, eruption in the region, from Benin, from Guinea-Bissau to Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, The time of military coup is back in West Africa, and I think that there is a need to seriously address the root cause, not the symptoms of these coups, in order to see whether
Adama,
really the democracy would be a reality or not in West Africa.
Adama, with all that in mind, what is that root cause in your belief?
The root cause is that we don't have democracy. We pretend to have democracy in all of the West African countries. In addition to that, the economic conditions of the people is very bad. It's worsening, improving a lot of few people, inequalities, and the fact that people are mismanaging democracy to sustain themselves in power. If they don't become very serious and honest about promoting real democracy, rule of law, good governance, freedom of expression, freedom of opinion, all those things that are part of the democratic process, they are exposing themselves, those leaders from Nigeria, even where there has been a coup attempt, to Cote d'Ivoire, to Senegal,
So
across the West African
this
region,
recent coup that is
military coup
happening
will
everywhere
Adama.
continue to
now,
be a reality in Africa.
it's beyond national crisis, if I were to say, because come to think of it, many Africans have been experiencing coup, and recently we have one in Guinea-Bissau, and now again in Benin Republic. It's a kind of a dangerous trend, though, a domino effect of instability across West Africa. Each coup erode trust in democracy. Many people have beginning to question, what is democracy? Are you sure that we are practicing the right system of government? Is this even for us? That if democracy should be practiced in Africa, which means it has to be African democracy. And people no longer have trust in democracy anymore. And that is what is actually happening. Because there are corrupt politicians everywhere, here and there, and many people just begin to wonder, is it even better that the soldiers should take over, since there is no difference between military and democratic regime, and that is where the situation of the country is going ahead. So for Africa, the coup in Benin is just a warning. It threatens economic stability entirely. Economic stability. Nowhere is safe anymore. There is, it will even disrupt the regional trade. Benin Republic has borders with so many countries. It has borders with Nigeria, has borders with other countries. So the economic trade that is going on between these countries will actually be threatened. Now all the borders has been closed. What happens to the activities of those that are doing business there? What happens to the international transactions that is going on there? All those things are the effect of bad leadership. And if Q continues to be a norm in Africa, which means Africa becomes at risk in sliding back into an era where God decides the leadership, not just the ballot box. Because many people are already fed up with what happens in the ballot paper, what happens in the ballot box, and they are now looking for alternative. But is Q the alternative? I don't think so. But they should send a message to all African leaders, especially West Africa, not just West Africa anyway, all African leaders at large, that they should sit up so that something like this will not happen.